Welcome to Two Guys in a Ride. Today we're going to review the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Limited. I'll tell you about the horsepower, cargo, dimensions, and safety.
And I'll tell you about the interior, the controls, and all the technology.
Before we get started, take a moment, click that subscribe button down below.
Okay.
And ring that bell notification so you're never...
I know, I'm just sitting waiting. Oh.
Welcome to One Guy in a Ride.
All right.
And him.
Yeah. I'm on the ride. I don't know what he's doing.
Before we get started, take a moment, click that subscribe button down below.
And hit that bell icon so you never miss a video.
That's right. So what do you say, Nate?
Let's go for a ride.
Today we're working with our friends at Maury's 394 Hyundai in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. The 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe is available in 5 trim levels with prices starting at $27,000 for the SE, $28,800 for the SEL, the Limited $38,750, and then there's a Calligraphy at $40,750. There's also a Calligraphy 2.5 turbo all-wheel drive with 19-inch wheels, and it's $42,250. All of these come standard with front-wheel drive, or you can select the optional Hyundai H-Trac all-wheel drive versions. This particular model today is the Santa Fe Limited all-wheel drive, and it's presented here in twilight black with a black leather interior, and it has an MSRP of $42,105. Now, it is powered by a 2.5-liter double overhead cam, 16-valve intercooled turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine that produces 281 horsepower and 311 pound-foot of torque. It's also driven by an 8-speed wet dual-clutch transmission with SHIFTRONIC, and as I mentioned before, it does have H-Trac all-wheel drive. Taking a look outside, you see it does have the automatic LED projector headlights with the LED accents and LED daytime running lights. And of course, it has the satin chrome grille and surround. And you can see it does as well have a body colored front bumper, and it does have the parking sensors as well. Now down below in the middle is a matte black lower grille with a satin chrome diffuser. And on the side here, these are actually functional side curtain air vents. Up top is a nice flat chiseled hood with quasi power dome character lines cut in it, and those are really cool looking. I like the shape. And above that are rain sensing variable intermittent wipers, and it has a solar control windshield. Let's take a look around the side. Okay, along the side, these are 19-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels, and they have the dark gray painted pockets, and they are wrapped in 235/55 R19 all-season tires. This vehicle does, of course, have full-wheel ABS, and it has four-wheel disc with 12.8-inch rotors in the front and 12-inch rotors on the rear. The front suspension is McPherson struts with a stabilizer bar, and out back you have a multi-link rear suspension with gas shocks and stabilizer bar as well. And you really can't see it, it's on a gloss black vehicle, but it does have the matte black wheel well trim and the lower rocker panel trim, and then integrated into that is that nice satin chrome spear running along the side and all the way around to the back bumper as well. Up top, these are heated and power folding outside rear view mirrors, and they have the integrated turn signal indicators, puddle lights, and they have the camera for your turn signals as well. I like the satin chrome caps on the door handles, and on the front side glass it is acoustic laminated, and on the second row side glass, of course, and the back window is privacy glass. I do like that satin chrome belt line and upper window trim, and up top there are satin chrome side roof rack rails, and above that, big open, very nice panoramic sunroof. Next, let's take a look around the back. Okay, out back you see it does have the black or body colored roof mounted spoiler with the integrated LED third high mount brake light, and this is a hands-free smart lift gate with auto open and adjustable height setting, and that's really easy. It's just a button inside that you can set the height. This is a fixed rear window, and it is heated, and it does have an intermittent wiper, although I do wish they would have tucked that wiper up underneath that roof spoiler for a much cleaner look. And it's kind of an older design, and more companies are going to tucking it up under there, and I like that. Down below here, you see there is a rear view camera, and these are LED tail lights, and I like that red trim on the tail lights that spans from side to side. You see the big Hyundai logo as well in the center of the tailgate, and you see the Santa Fe badge on the driver's side and the H-Trac and engine badges over here on the passenger side. Now, it is also a body colored bumper, and the turn signals as well as reflectors are located down below here in this section. You can see we have the flashers on, you can see those, but that is a reflector strip as well. It also does have a matte black rub strip, and it has parking sensors. Below that is a satin chrome rear trim panel diffuser, and below that, or integrated into that actually, is one stainless steel tipped exhaust outlet. Now let's take a look at the cargo area. Inside, the seats are 60-40 split, and there is a 12-volt outlet on the passenger side along with the second row seat release buttons, and I really do like that. Just push the button and they fall. They're not power, but they are a release. Under the cargo floor, there is additional storage, and underneath that as well is the spare tire mobility kit. So max cargo volume behind the front row with the back seats folded is 72.1 cubic feet. Max cargo volume with the second row seats up, as you see it here, is 36.4 cubic feet. Now again, seats down, cargo floor length to the front row to the rear sill is 75 inches, and cargo floor length to from the second row to the rear sill is 43 inches. Cargo width at the belt line is 46 inches, and internally, loading something on the floor, cargo width between the wheel houses is 43.5 inches. Cargo opening height, the opening top to the floor is 30.25 inches, and liftover height getting something off the ground into the vehicle is 32.5 inches. So what are some of the safety systems that are on the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Limited? Well, you do have electronic stability control with traction control system. There's also brake assist, vehicle stability management, hill start assist control. One of my favorites is the blind spot collision avoidance assist. It also has rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, another one of my favorites. As you're backing out, it will detect things that you're not able to see yet. It also has remote start, parking assist, rear occupant alert, forward collision avoidance assist, lane keeping assist, and so very much more. Up next, let's talk about the dimensions. Okay, front track is 64.8 inches, rear track is 65.2 inches, overall width with the mirrors folded 74.8 inches, overall length 188.4 inches, height 67.3 inches. It has a wheelbase of 108.9 inches with a ground clearance of 8.2 inches. Now the front overhang is 37.2 inches and the rear overhang is 42.3 inches. Its curb weight, 4,017 pounds, and its max payload, 1,488 pounds. Also, when properly equipped, maximum towing up to 3,500 pounds. It does also have a turning circle of 37.4 feet and a fuel tank capacity of 18.8 gallons. So, how is the Santa Fe rated for safety? Well, IIHS nor National Highway Transportation Safety Administration have yet rated the Santa Fe. So what about its performance? Well, 0 to 60, 7 seconds. Top speed, 127 miles per hour, and one of my favorite stats is braking, 60 to 0 to keep you out of a possible accident, 130 feet. And what about its appearance? Well, I actually do like the two-box shape with the angular fluid body lines, but I'm not a big fan of that cheese grater front grille. I think they could do a little bit different there. All right, so warranty. Basic warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles. Powertrain warranty. Hyundai is famous for this, 10 years, 100,000 miles. And they also offer complimentary maintenance for 3 years and 36,000 miles as well. So what about its fuel economy? Being a midsize SUV, this is not a hybrid vehicle, so it's 21 city, 28 highway, and 24 combined. I think that's about comparable of what else you'll see out there. Now let's take a look inside, but before we do, check out my notes in the description down below, and please take a moment, give us a like, leave a comment, and don't forget, click on that subscribe button. All right, Nate, what do you say? Nope? Okay. Take it away.
Stepping in the front row here on the driver's door, you do have a window lockout. For the rear windows, you have standard power windows in the rear. You have auto up and down in the front two windows. And of course your unlock, lock buttons, your mirror controls, and then your power folding mirrors. Now, just above that, you have got your two-person memory setting for the driver's seat. And then down below, you have one of your 12 Armin and Kardon speakers. And then you do have a decent amount of storage down here, including a bottle holder. Now on the seats themselves, and both driver and passenger are the same, Hyundai calls them 8-way power, and then they include the 4-power lumbar, which would give you a total of 12, but to my account there's actually 14. And again, both driver and passenger seats are the same. Now the seats are heated and ventilated, and you can see the perforation. The seats are very nice. They are leather. And then coming down below, I always like it when they have extra storage, and of course they do on this vehicle here. You got a nice storage area with a removable rubber mat for cleaning. You've got a 12-volt outlet on one side and then a USB on the other, and it's a USB-A. Coming up here, you do have your electronic parking brake. This is just a dummy button here. And then coming up a little bit further, coming up here, you do have, of course, your dashboard brightness and dimness controls. You have your lane keeping assist. You've got your rear door, your rear trunk open, and then you have your traction control button. Now, this is a tilt and telescope wheel, but that is a manual adjustment, and that lever is right there. The dimensions in the front are headroom, 39.5 inches, shoulder room, 59.1 inches, hip room, 57.5 inches, leg room, 44.1 inches, and the step-in height is 19 inches. Now let's step in and start it up. All right, it is a push start. That's located just to the right of the steering wheel. You gotta love this 12.3-inch digital dash. I mean, it's 3D. The speedometer and tach look phenomenal. And we do have another video that's gonna go into detail on what's all in here, as well as the infotainment screen. So if you wanna watch that, you can click on the link above. But it's a 12.3-inch fully digital screen, and it is configurable. The really cool thing about it is when you hit the left turn signal, the speedometer turns into a monitor, a picture, and shows you from the camera view. And then if you do your right turn signal, the tach turns into a monitor and shows you what's on your right side. That is really, really cool. Coming back from the dashboard, of course, you have your light control and turn signals on the left. You got your windshield wipers on the right, and you got paddle shifters here. And then on the steering wheel itself, it is leather and it is heated. You do have your media controls on this side, and then on the right side you have these buttons here have to do with controlling all the information in the screen. And then of course you do have your adaptive cruise control buttons right here, as well as your lane keeping assist and steering assist for that function right here. Moving over to the infotainment screen, this is a 10.25-inch screen. In the sound system is a Harman Kardon. It is 630 watts with 12 speakers. It has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Bluetooth, AM and FM radio, HD radio, Sirius XM, and you can also hook it to your Google Home, and you can do things like remote start it right from your house. Coming down below that, of course, we have a nice big hazard button in the middle along with your air vents. And then down here you have just a plethora of physical buttons, which is unusual to see in a newer car. I happen to really like that, but you've got shortcuts to your infotainment screen up here, as well as a power and volume and a tune. You've got all of your climate controls here. This is a dual zone auto climate control. And then down here you have your push button gear selectors, and then here you have your heated steering wheel button. You've got your auto hold button, and then your auto start stop off, and your hill descent, your parking sensors, and then a dedicated camera to turn, dedicated button to turn on the cameras. Down here, both driver and passenger have 3-stage ventilated and heated seats. And then this is all your drive modes, plus the push button in the middle to lock the differential. Coming back behind there, we'll move the key out of the way, you do have a USB-A plug-in, and then you have one cup holder down here, you have a second cup holder up here, and then you do have a wireless charger that your phone slips into right on the side here. Now, as far as the trim goes, this is all a metal look. This is fake carbon fiber, and it's kind of leatherette everywhere else, but the seats themselves are leather. You have a very nice push button right here that opens up the storage in the center console. You do have a removable tray, and then you have a fairly good storage area here. It is plastic. There's a little felt piece in the bottom, but there are no additional buttons or lights or plugins or anything down there. Moving over to the glove compartment, you do have a nice rubberized storage area in here, which you don't maybe notice right at first, but it's quite deep. I'd say, close to 5 inches deep, so you can set quite a bit in there, and it's nice that it has that rubberized mat. The glove compartment itself is nice and large, and it's got a soft opening, and it's just plastic on the inside. There's no felt or anything, but ample space. Moving up to the mirror, this is a auto dimming rear view mirror, and then your 3 home link buttons are underneath here on the left. Coming up here, you do have a dedicated light buttons to turn on your reading lamps. This one turns on all the lights in the vehicle. And then, of course, this has a panoramic sunroof, and so you can control that from here. This is your blue link button right here. And then on the visors themselves, both of them have a light, but you need to turn on a switch to get the light on. So it's not activated by the door opening. It's actually a physical button. They are telescoping as well, and the passenger side has the same exact setup. All right, let's take a step into the second row. The dimensions in the second row are headroom 37.8 inches, shoulder room 58.3 inches, hip room 56.3 inches, leg room 41.7 inches, and the step-in height is 19 inches. Now let's step in and take a closer look at the second row. All right, in the second row on the door, you've got, of course, your window switch, but then you do also have your 2-stage heated seat switch for both outboard seats. You do have one of your 12 Harman Kardon speakers, and then, of course, you have a bottle holder with ample storage next to it. On the back of the seats, in the driver's seat, there's no extra storage, but on the passenger seat, there is a mat pocket right here. And then down below, behind the center console, you do have 2 USB-As, as well as a 115-volt, 150-watt household plug-in. The seats in the rear are a 60-40 split, and they do fold flat, and there's just a little lever you can pull up here, and then they lock into place. So to get them unlocked, you need to reach out with one hand and pull the lever all the way up, and then you can push the seat back. There is a center armrest here with 2 cup holders and a pass-through in the middle. All right, well, talk about an excess of room. I mean, I have the seat adjusted to where it's comfortable for me, and other than a full-sized SUV, I don't think I've ever seen this much space. I mean, I've got close to, 7-8 inches here. Headroom is good. I've got close to 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. You do have manual shades for both the rear windows, okay, which is nice. And the seats themselves do recline, so if you pull the same lever that you use to put the seats all the way flat forward, they'll recline. Now, at this point, this would be about as far as you could recline if the rear cargo cover is in its first location. There are 2 locations for the rear cover, but when you move to the second location, you get about 4 more inches of tilt in the back of the seat. So first time I've ever seen a movable cargo cover, and they've made it useful because you get more tilt on your seat. The seats don't adjust forward or back. Underneath, there's plenty of storage for your seat. I have probably 3 or 4 inches from the top of my shoes to the bottom of the chair. Now, in addition to that, you've got grab handles, of course, which are on all 4 doors, and then you've got an LED reading lamp on both sides, as well as a coat hook. All right, next up, we're going to take it for a ride.
Okay, taking a ride in the Hyundai Santa Fe. Initial impressions, just pulling out of the dealership parking lot, is that interior sound and quietness is really good. You know, I'm on a frontage road and I'm hitting some potholes and some other things like that, but it's not reverberating into the cabin at all. It's actually pretty darn quiet in here. So some of the safety systems on here, you know, I covered those in my exterior review, and you may hear some things rolling around back there. I think it's the floor mats and stuff, but I did cover those on my exterior review. But one of the coolest features that I like, one of the safety features, is when you turn your signal on, and we'll get some of this footage, or you've seen some of this footage with Nathan doing his interior review, is each side where you have on your digital dashboard your tachometer and your speedometer. If you turn left, the left screen lights up and shows you what's on that side. And if you turn your signal the other side, well, you get that lights up as well. So it shows you with the outside camera in the mirror what is actually over on that side, and I think that's a really cool safety system. You know, this does have the lane keeping assist, the blind spot, adaptive cruise control, ABS, so many other safety features as well. And yeah, it's just really cool. It's very well loaded with safety and technology. Okay, we're going to merge into the highway here, so this is going to be a good opportunity for me to see what kind of acceleration we're going to get. And signal on, I can see my blind spot with that nice cool feature. And oh, pretty darn peppy. I like that. Wow, that's cool. You know, you hear that rumble, and actually, not a rumble. But you hear that turbo kick in and you feel it, and it was pretty quick. It really didn't sense any turbo lag there. And, you know, pretty peppy. Shot me right out into traffic where I needed to be, and pretty cool. Not bad at all. Interior fit and finish. Overall, I mean, you know, it actually looks a lot more upscale than its price point would suggest. I think it's very well put together. I think they've done a really good job of the fake carbon fiber. It's one of the nicest, most real looking fake carbon fibers that I've seen. I'm not a big fan of the bridge here and all of the redundant buttons, but I get it. You know, you've got touchscreen, you've got controls on your dashboard to control the driver's information center and the center infotainment screen. However, there are redundant buttons all on the bridge here. My concern is there's so many buttons down here that they may interfere with each other, being that the push button transmission is right beside all of the other push buttons for the automatic climate control, for the radio, for the auto hold, and the heated seats. Just a whole lot of buttons down here. So coming up next though, Nathan, speaking of buttons, who loves buttons and doesn't mind having a plethora of buttons, will be taking this for a ride and giving you his impressions. So stay tuned.
All right, my turn to drive. You know, in terms of getting in and out, it's a 19-inch step in height, both first and second row, but the seats are, you know, at that level where it's really nice just to kind of slide in and slide out of them. So overall, pretty good. In terms of parking, well, this has got the 360 camera system on there, so it really couldn't get any easier. Now, not only does it have that, but it has also a feature where if you push and hold the camera button on the center dash, or on the center console, if you push and hold the camera button on the center console, you can actually take your key fob, as long as your car's lined up straight, and get out and use your key fob to finish parking your car, which is pretty cool. You can also use it to back out the car. in terms of maneuvering around town and on the highways, this is right on par with other mid-size SUVs. Nothing in particular stands out, but it is very comfortable to drive. It has, you know, a 14-way adjustable driver's seat, 8-way adjustable passenger seat. The seats are ventilated and they are heated, so they are quite comfortable. In terms of getting to everything in the vehicle, the center console has a plethora of buttons. So if you like physical buttons, you're gonna like this. I hope that you've enjoyed our review, and thanks for watching.
Well, that's our review of the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Limited, and we certainly do appreciate you spending some time with us. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and please click on that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching.